You are a multi-dimensional being. You are physical, you are emotional, you are mental, you are spiritual. And that is what we're going to be talking about today. And I'm going to give you some really cool, unique tips to help you kind of navigate yourself in the world in a much more efficient, really lovely, flowy way. That is what we're going to be talking about today. Welcome to Infinite You. I am Dr. Sherry. So let's get going. Um, why am I talking about this multidimensional mindset so much? I mean, I weave it into every part of my life, but I did have another brilliant conversation today with a colleague, and she and I are kind of like sort of in that same like sciency, spirituality, energetic space. And so, you know, we and I think that this might be a different little bit of a twist on, where I'm going with this. So, we're three-dimensional beings, and we definitely intentionally co-created our soul coming down into physical form with God. It is a beautiful, amazing, miraculous, magical, unbelievable gift. It's really quite crazy when you think about the fact that, you know, our souls are eternal. You have been here for eternity. You have been here forever in different forms, in different places, in different times. And I'm not talking about time like as a linear thing, right? And it's very easy to be like, oh, in my past life, which is great, that's fine. But time is concentric. And so everything is kind of happening all at once, and we have an opportunity to be in different timelines at any time. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I definitely will likely post a video at some point on like, hopping into a different one of your timelines. You get to pull things from different timelines if you so choose. And I do think I want to say this, and it's probably not the right time in this video, but what the heck. So, there are people that are so good at knowing about how to tune into their different timelines in life that they literally can be like, okay, I need an idea to work on this, musical symphony or this painting, or I need to learn a language, or I need to learn this skill set. They simply enter another timeline, they pick up the skill set, they come back here. And I will definitely, when I do a timeline video, I will talk about and refer to exactly the man that I'm talking about. He's in my head right now and I cannot think of his name. But anyhow, you are a physical being, and you very magically and miraculously, in the most beautiful way, agreed to take the energy of your soul and bring it into physical form. And the thing about three-dimensional reality is that it's at a much lower vibration. I've talked about this in other videos, but think about the difference between things that are vibrating like in a solid form. Let's just talk about ice, right? We know an ice cube is solid, but the molecules are still moving just a tiny little bit vibrationally. They're just vibrating a little tiny bit, right? We melt the ice cube, it turns into water, and now the molecules are moving and vibrating at a higher rate, at a higher frequency. And then when we get into taking that water from that melted ice cube and we boil it, we turn it into boiling water with a higher vibration and movement. And then some of that water eventually becomes steam. And that is even at a higher vibration and higher movement. So think about all of the movement. So for us as human beings in three-dimensional reality, we're physical beings in a physical world. There's still movement going on, right? We're not just, I mean, if we were solid beings, we would be statues, but even statues have movement going on in them in the structure of the marble or however they're created, right? So, why am I making a big deal about this three-dimensional reality? Because it's the part of our human experience that um, can potentially be traumatic or sad or challenging or the feeling of being separate from everything else, because our perception is that we're viewing everything as though we're separate, right? We're not tuning into the quantum field in our three-dimensional bodies, even though in the quantum field everything is the same, everything is connected. And so the gift of this three-dimensional reality, and I've thought about this a lot, and maybe everybody else has too, when we're on the other side, when we're not in physical form, right? We are expansive. We are all about the high vibration of love. Oh, and that reminds me, I'm going to be offering a really cool course probably in February around Valentine's Day, and it's all about the infinite love and money, right? In celebration of Valentine's Day, really. But it's the high vibration of love that I'm talking about. And if you, and I will put that in, I will put, when I get to it, I will put information about infinite love and money in my newsletter. So if you would like to sign up for that, just, click the link below. I'll put newsletter, my link to my newsletter in the description box. But the beautiful thing, so when we're up, in non-physical form, we are high flying by high vibration of love. It's amazing. It is so magical. And you know that feeling when you are in your physical body, when you look at someone with unconditional love, right? If you're a new parent, for sure. If you just got a puppy, for sure. I had this whole experience of almost losing my mom last year, and I just leaned into loving her unconditionally. It is such a beautiful, freeing, high vibration that transcends human emotion. We feel that. We feel that when we fall in love, when we're experiencing joy. We know the feeling even in physical form. Why am I even bringing this up? Because the beautiful part about being in physical form is that we get to enjoy this amazing physical planet, the sky, the mountains, the oceans, the lakes, the fields, the peaks, the valleys, the climates, the the visual beauty of it all. And then we get to taste and touch and smell and hear. And why am I missing the last one? Taste, touch, smell, hear, see. I just mentioned see. Blah, blah, blah. Silly me. All right. So think about that. Think about how beautiful it is to be alive in physical form. There are joys. There's such beautiful joys to physical form, but we are also kind of vulnerable, and we can easily feel pretty flawed, and we are very reactive to the world around us. So what people think of us, how we might feel judged, what people say, how we judge ourselves, all of that is happening in this three-dimensional reality. And the beautiful part, and then of course we've got our brain chemistry and our fight or flight, and that deep seated wired feeling of fear, where our bodies and our brains are trying to keep us safe and out of trouble. So we've got that going on too on a biologic level, right? So just think of who you are, like in three-dimensional reality, and how it can feel so easy to kind of want to check out of the planet, or that you just feel separate and not connected, that you don't feel like you're enough, that you're not living in a high vibration. And the reality is, and I'm going to say this, if you want to live in a higher vibration, you need to be intentional about living in a higher vibration, right? Don't react. Don't react to, and I hate to say don't. I invite you to not react to your reality, but create your reality with intention. If you don't want to live in reactionary mode in your three-dimensional way of being, then it's really important to intentionally create your reality the way that you want it to be for you. It's definitely about practice. It's definitely about manifesting. I just got done making a whole video about that. And so remember your three-dimensional way of being is time limited, and you came here for a reason, whatever that may be, whatever lights you up, whatever you feel like you'd like to create and experience and have and do and see, right? It's beautiful. There's something so magical and beautiful about this, but the consequence, to a degree, if you, and you, we don't have to call it that, but if you feel separate and beaten down and stuck and all of that stuff, then that is a signal for you to like own your energy, own your reality, and begin shifting to create that. Fourth dimensional energy. And I do want to say one more thing. If you're stuck and having a hard time in your three-dimensional reality, that's when you get to use fourth dimensional, fifth dimensional reality as a tool to help remind you that you're connected in the fifth dimension, the fourth dimension, and third dimension, or you might want to problem solve with the fourth dimensional reality, which that's what we're going to be talking about in 1 second. So remember, you're not singularly dimensional. You are not just a three-dimensional being, which means you don't have to find a solution or feel better or release a limiting belief or shift old programming or do any of that stuff purely in this three-dimensional world, right? Like getting into an argument or not seeing eye to eye with someone, or someone makes you feel terrible, or whatever challenge may come up in physical reality. You don't have to glom onto it at the same level, dimension that you are experiencing that. And that is really, really important. So we might feel like, oh my God, this person wronged me, and the only thing I can do is whatever, punch them in the nose. No, that is not all you can do. You can access your intellect at the fourth dimension. You can tune into your feelings and emotions at a different level outside of the third dimension. And then you can even tune into the fifth dimension and begin to understand we're all connected, and I want to live in a higher vibration, and I'm going to be, energetically, right, the more magnanimous person in this particular situation. There's always a different way to manage something in your life, a particular challenge, a particular relationship, a particular conversation that you're having with someone else or someone in your head, whatever the case may be. So, third dimension, physical reality. Fourth dimension is all about intellect, right? And this is really, and I've talked about this in another video, right? You have your physical body, and then just outside of your physical body, you have your etheric energy body that's just very, very close energetically, like right outside of your body. This is the beginning of your aura, the energetic aspect of who you are. Some people are phenomenally good at reading other people's auras, and that energy expands. You are much bigger than a three-dimensional being. It expands out from your etheric body, your emotional body, your mental body, your astral body, your causal body, which is connected to all that is. That's where you're just really channeling all of your inspiration and ideas from, right? Quite literally from God, from God's source, from what the universe, whatever word, works for you. And so you are an intellectual being in the fourth dimension. And so this is really about, problem solving, back in the day, right? At some point, our ancient ancestors discovered fire. And look where we have come. Like, we can turn fire from coal. We can, make fire and heat water and create a steam engine, right? So like, that's the idea of how humans are always, creating more and more and more, because it's really about finding another solution to what we are observing in the moment. That is what fourth dimensional energy is about. And so when we talk about things in terms of psychology and like rewiring the brain and shifting our subconscious programming or intellectualizing our world around us, it has been a brilliant tool to understand ourselves and everything around us from a different perception. So, we may not understand that or see that like in our three-dimensional reality, but for sure we can see that, intellectually in this fourth dimension. It is very solution oriented, very analytical, collecting data points from different sources and observations to create an opinion about something or resolve something. It has been a beautiful tool that human beings have been using for a very long time. But now we're moving into this fifth dimensional reality where we have more access to the energetic aspect of who we are, where it will likely become much easier that if you are in the middle of a problem, a challenge, I don't even know, an argument, or you're feeling judged, or you don't feel like enough, whatever the case may be, you have incredible access to this new energy, this fifth dimensional energy, where you literally can tune into the energetic aspect of not only yourself, of everything around you in the quantum field, in the matrix, whatever you want to call it, and you get to use your mind and then transcend to that energetic level in a deeper meditation or visualization, or what I like to say, Obi-Wan Kenobi something. And I know that I'm dating myself, like with the original Star Wars way back in the day, but that scene with Obi-Wan and the stormtroopers, and how Obi-Wan said, "Oh, these are not the droids you're looking for," and then the stormtroopers were like, "These are not the droids we're looking for," and they left. And you get to do that too energetically. You get to use the force. And so think about that in your life, and how moving, first acknowledging that you're multidimensional, acknowledging that you're creating your reality in a multidimensional way. You are physical, you are intellectual, and you are energetic, you are spiritual, you are completely connected to everything. So think about the next time something comes up in your life and it is not working the way that you had hoped for or intended, or everybody else has all of their stuff going on right at the same time. So other people's stories and paradigms and way of being in the world, like we interact with one another. And so the next time you are in a position where you are feeling challenged or judged, or are at a crossroads, or you are bumping heads with someone, so to speak, remember, you don't have to resolve things in a three-dimensional way by being tougher or screaming louder, or going back, responding in judgment, or responding or reacting to your reality. You are way more powerful than that. You don't have to react to your reality. The intellect is fine. I love intellectual energy, but I love, love, love the high vibe spiritual energy that comes from the fifth dimension. Remember, I started this video talking about the vibration of water, from ice cube to liquid to boiling water to steam. The intention really is about tuning into that higher vibration of who you are. It is a much more true and reflective reality of who you are. And that tuning into that is really an intentional practice with meditation and other tools, but you will begin to feel amazing. Joy should not be like a one off. Joy should be a way of living. Joy should be really all about showing up, embracing your amazing self and your purpose and your passion and your why. so you can find meaning. And then, really, at the same time, when you're navigating and beginning to observe and understanding yourself as a multidimensional being, that's the most amazing place to create a mindset that will just skyrocket you into a new level of being, of awesomeness, of awareness, of self realization. And the bonus is that you will become an attraction magnet. You will see the serendipity. You see, this is how I'm weaving in this idea of manifesting with multidimensional mindset and the nature, the true nature of who you are and how this really works. So, I will put the link to my newsletter below, and I will always be offering like goodies and fun free gifts for you to discover more and more at a deeper level about who you are, so you can just have at it and become your best, most amazing self. And for sure, I would love a follow, subscribe below, and click the like button if this resonated with you. And last but not least, I will put the link below to the newsletter. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy being you, your infinite, amazing, magical self. I will see you next time.